First of all, I'd like to pay tribute to Adamson and Coach Nash. It's a really difficult job to play the game they played against LaSalle the other night, with all the emotion and the expenditure of energy, and then you turn around and try and play a team that's been preparing for a week, it's well rested, and hasn't been thinking about anything other than who they're going to face in the semis. I think the game really was a reflection of that. We had our best offensive performance of the year. I think that when you get some time to prepare and your opponent doesn't have much time, and they were playing on fumes, they were playing on heart, they were playing on Nash's brain, and all of those things they have a ton of. I guess the cauldron of a semifinal, you need more than that. You need time to prepare, you need rest, and you need the whole team hitting on all cylinders. And I think tonight we were that team. They were just a bunch of fighters out there, and I really admire them for the fight they put up. We shoot almost 50% from the field, 57% from three. We haven't done that all year long. It was a byproduct of good execution, understanding what we wanted to do, some pretty good scouting from our coaching staff on what we expected from Adamson, and we were pretty well prepared, and I really credit the guys for their execution today. But this is playoffs, and the reason that these two guys are here is not because Chris scored 15 points, it's because Jerome just couldn't see anything for 3.5 quarters of the game. That's a credit to these two guys. That was a big part of the game plan. He's a great player, and neutralizing him forces the rest of their roster to try and to do things that they're not entirely comfortable with. These two guys just did a phenomenal job defending Jerome, and you don't win championships if you don't play defense.
My coach said credit to Jerome. He's a great player. My coach put me in the job to guard him with BJ and Sean. I think everything that they told me, I tried to just know that he's a good player, but listen to what the coaches were saying. I think as a team, our defense, we had so many rotations and so many guys stepped up, and I think that that was credit to what we do at practice. And I'm just happy we were able to contain them as much as we did today.
Para sa akin, proud ako sa team ko, and credit din kay Jerome, nasa Mosa, napakagaling niya, grabe. So alam magpasalamat sa mga coaches na pre-prepare po kami ng mabuti para sa game na to. Hindi kami nag-look forward to the finals kasi importante itong game na to. And ito na kami, balik ulit sa finals.
UP came out today and ran virtually an entirely new offense. We'll know that offense by Sunday. That's the caliber of team that we are, and that means it's more difficult to prepare. And that's why coaches try to give different looks, because familiarity breeds contempt. And it's not contempt for our opposition, it's contempt for their system. You see all the radical changes that a coach makes. But I understand that. I've been in his shoes, and I know what the pressure is like that he's feeling right now. He's probably playing his best basketball this season, but he knows that we're still heavy underdogs in this game. But that intact roster that you're talking about is a championship roster. That's a championship coaching staff. They did a phenomenal job last year. They did a phenomenal job today. But I know how pressure weighs on you. So here's what I want to say about the pressure that we might be feeling. I want Moa and Araneta to be chock full of blue in every potential seat that is available. I want the Ateneo faithful behind this team, because this team has already surpassed a lot of the expectations of them, and even, to be fair, of the coaching staff. But the good thing is they haven't surpassed their own, and that's a credit to them. But we need to fight with every ounce of the one big fight. We need every single blue-blooded Filipino from around the world throwing every bit of weight they have behind this team, because that's how much respect I have for UP, and that's how good I think that team is.
I think that's a credit to what Coach said, our execution. I think a lot of our guys, we found each other, a lot of reads. I think that's credit to us, and the shots fall when we're wide open. So I think we have guys that can make shots. So yeah, I think our execution paid a lot to them.
I look forward to a reunion with my Tall Black squad of the 2002 World Champs. Someday I'll look forward to reunions with these guys if I'm still alive and kicking. And maybe that's the time to reflect. But, tomorrow, I've got a job to do. And MVP likes it when I do my job. He doesn't like it when anybody, you know, shirks their responsibilities and doesn't do their job, because that man, like, he's one of the most remarkable people I've ever known. Because, you know, a man of his age, it's pretty good, but he's not young, and he's a workaholic, and he's there every day. He probably doesn't always like things I say. He probably doesn't always like the fact that I can be a little bit, you know, rough around the edges and things like that. But you know what he likes about me. He knows that I show up for work every day. And I always will. There's no time to sit back. And the second that you do that, your UP gets a little bit better than you do. And NU gets a little bit better, and Adamson gets a little bit better. So I'm just not interested in being second place to any of those teams. So I have to try and get me and my team to outwork.